Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new course over TypeScript. In this course, we are going to learn everything that will be necessary for mastering TypeScript. We shall be going through the basics of TypeScript in the easiest way as possible. As in the content of the following course, we will be going through modules over installing Node.js and VS Code under our system, and also we will be setting up the path of our environment variables so that we won't get any error while installing the following things. After that, we shall be taking a look over how to automate the TypeScript with our node-mount configuration. We shall be going deep under the following module itself, and after that I will be showing you some of the reasons that why you should be using TypeScript and the big bang of it. Once we have covered the necessity of using TypeScript under our programming journey, we will be going through the basics of TypeScript, where we shall be learning everything from basics. After that, we shall be taking a look over what are explicit types in TypeScript, and also we shall be taking a look over the easiest way of declaration, its benefits and compulsion. And after that, I will be explaining you everything about what is any type in TypeScript and how you should use any types in TypeScript. After that, we shall be taking a look over functions in TypeScript, and also we shall be taking a look over what are function signatures. Once the following modules are completed, we shall be taking a deep dive over what are type aliases and how we can use type aliases using proper syntax and their benefits. After that, we shall be going through what are the classes in TypeScript and how we can use the following static and global declaration under it. Once we are done with classes of TypeScript, we shall be going through the casting of dynamic types, and also we shall be taking a look over how to import and export modules under TypeScript. Last but not the least, we shall be taking a look over TypeScript enums and where should we use enums in TypeScript. And the ultimate topic of our today's course will be TypeScript generics, which will be an advanced level topic, but I will try my best to explain everything in the easiest language as possible. So let's start off our journey of TypeScript course by installing all the necessary dependencies and modules. But if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe if you are not. Let's get started. Alrighty, let's start off our entire TypeScript course by installing Node.js under our system. So for downloading Node.js, you can move under your browser, navigate yourself to the following website of nodejs.org, that is organization, and download Node.js for Windows, Mac and Linux accordingly. So for now, here you can press over the stable version of Node.js and it will be automatically downloaded under your system. I already have Node.js under my system, so I won't be downloading it one more time. And guess what? We are using Visual Studio Code as a main editor for our entire TypeScript course. So here you can simply go over Windows and download it for now. You can also go here for downloading it, but I have already installed Visual Studio Code under my system, so I don't need it. After that, you can move after the following thing, and let's go under your browser. Okay, somewhere here. You can move under My PC for Windows user. Right click over it, go to Properties. After moving into Properties, move into Advanced System Settings. Under this, move under Environment Variables, and under this you can simply scroll down for System Variables, and under the following System Variables you need to simply add Visual Studio, that is Visual Studio Bean, and also Node.js command path, that is the following library of Node.js under your environment variables. The following thing just simplify that Node.js is installed under our system and it has system variable path under our entire system. So what I mean by that, if I move under my PowerShell, and here if I simply say node and press enter, you can see I will be moving under the terminal shell of node itself, and here I can perform any sort of operations I need. To check whether you have installed Node.js or not, you can simply press the following command from here. Cool, so my version is 14.16.0, which is the stable version. So once we have done this, what we shall be doing is make a new folder over our desktop. So for that purpose, let's move on our desktop, and here I shall be creating a new directory. So here let's have make dir. Let's cd into the following TS course. Cool, so here you can simply press code and dot, and the Visual Studio Code shall be automatically opened. Cool, so we have our Visual Studio Code open and now, which is absolutely blank. So now I will be showing you some of the extensions that I already have configured under my Visual Studio Code. So for having some of the mind-blowing extensions, you can move under the following extension tab, and under the following extensions tab you can simply scroll down, at most down, and you can simply install TS-lint. And also you can install TypeScript Hero, which is one of the core extension which is very beneficial to us. So now let's move out the following thing. Now first thing first, we shall be simply initializing an empty package.json file which shall be helping us in managing the records of our dependencies that we shall be installing under our project. So for getting that thing, you can press Ctrl and J to bring up our entire terminal, and onto our terminal you have to write the following command of npm init-y. After having the following command, you will be getting the following file of package.json. Under this file, we shall be simply getting all of the following keywords which shall be helping us in managing all of the dependencies, scripts, developer dependencies and everything related to our project. So once we have gotten the following thing, let's close this file. After having the following file of package.json, let's get other packages that shall be necessary for us. So for that purpose, let's go onto our terminal, clear it once, and here first of all let's install TypeScript. So for that purpose, here we shall be simply writing npm install TypeScript. Along with TypeScript, we shall be installing nodemon, which shall be helping us in continuously watching our TypeScript code converted under our JavaScript code. So for that purpose, here we shall be writing TypeScript and also for nodemon.
A few moments later.
Okay, we have got both of the packages of TypeScript and also nodemon. If I go here under our entire package.json file, under the form of dependencies, you can see two of the dependencies of nodemon and also for TypeScript. After having the following dependencies, let's get some more dependencies for TypeScript. So for that purpose, here we shall be writing npm install -save -dev, and here I shall be writing here package of ts node. After having ts node, we shall be also requiring here a new package under a types. So here we shall be writing @types/node. We shall be simply importing all of the packages of our TypeScript which are available under node. Press enter.
A few moments later.
Cool, so we have our developer dependencies as well, which are types/node and also ts node. So once we have gotten our entire package.json file, we shall be creating a new file under a folder of source. The source folder shall be consisting of all of our TypeScript code that we shall be deploying under the following course. We shall be writing here a new file of app.ts. You can give the following file any sort of name, but remember to give the following extension of your file to .ts. So under our app.ts, let's have a console.log to check whether what we are getting from the following file. So here I shall be simply writing console.log of let's rock. So now to render the following file onto our terminal, you can press Ctrl and J to bring up our terminal. Let's clear it once, and here to run the following file, you can write the following command of tsc of the following file, that is source/app.ts. Press enter. Now here you can see two different files are generated, which is of app.ts. Now you may be wondering about what the thing is happening here. Now let me tell you that while we are rendering our entire TypeScript files, all of the files are transpiled into JavaScript files, and after transpiling the following TypeScript file under the JavaScript file, the code under our TypeScript is rendered. Now you may be wondering that this will be a hectic process of simply converting the following type by writing the following command of app of source/ts. Now here onto my following app.ts file, if I remove of the following thing, and if I simply say let data shall be equal to some data, and after that if I simply say console.log of data, and if I press save, nothing shall be happening for now. We need to simply render the following file one more time. So after pressing enter, you can see some of the changes shall be appearing under our app.js. Now here under our app.js, some of the code is changed, that is the code is almost equal to app.ts. So now if I simply go here, and if I simply remove the following file, press save, and if I simply run the following command one more time, let's move under our app.ts. Now here you can see the following code will be also omitted just like as app.ts. So to run the following file under our browser or our console, we need to simply add the following command here. But no worries, I have a short trick for you. You can simply add the following command here and add a flag of watch, that is -w, and after pressing enter, you can see a compilation mode shall be appearing under a watch mode. And if I simply uncommented the following thing off, press save, and if I move under my app.js, the following folder shall be also be implied automatically. So now let's open the following file here, and let's decrease the following width of our entire terminal. And if I simply write some other data, that is some, alright, let's say let's rock, and press save. Now you can see all of the changes shall be automatically implied over our app.js. Now here if I simply remove the following thing, this file will be also be removed. But now let's do one thing, add a new keyword of data, and this thing shall be equal to some data. Alright, some data. So here if I simply say console.log of data, press save, the following code is also mirrored over our app.js. Now I can open a new terminal, and onto our terminal I can simply say node of source/app.js. Now here you can see we are now successfully able to render our entire app.js file. But you know what, I can also do one thing, that is clear the following terminal off, and here if I simply say app.ts, the following code is also implied over our TypeScript file. Now I know you may be wondering that this will be a quite hectic process of simply opening two different terminals and writing different command line snippets again and again, but let me show you a short trick to simply render your entire TypeScript code under a JavaScript file and also render the following code of JavaScript file under your terminal. So for that purpose we can do one thing, that is expand our following terminal. Let's delete this thing off and close off entire process. So now you can simply write the following line here of tsc-init. After having the following command, you can see here we are getting a successful package of created a new tsconfig.json file. So now if I move under my project folder, you can see we are getting here a new file of a big thick file which is a JSON, and the following file contains all of the compiler options that will be available to us. So now do one thing, make some of the changes as per I will be doing here. So here under a target, change the following target to ES6, and under the library we shall be importing some of the modules that we shall be using. So here under the codes you can simply write ES of not 2015 but 17, and after that we can also write here a new command of DOM, easy as that. So once we have done the following changes, you can come down here, and here you can see both of the following options of output directory and also of root directory. So under our root directory you can write source, which is our source folder, and under our output directory you can write a public. Don't worry, we shall be creating a new folder of public just right now. So under our public we shall be writing here a new file of app.js. Now let me tell you that the following source folder shall be consisting of all the TypeScript files, not a JavaScript one, bye bye. And our public folder shall be consisting of all the rendered files that shall be automatically transpiled from TypeScript into JavaScript. So now to make this thing into action, you can move under your package.json file and add some of the scripts. So here under script you need to add three different scripts. So first of all we shall be writing here a new script of start, and under start under quotes you can simply write node of public/app.js. After having this thing, we shall be also requiring one more script of development, and under development here you can simply write nodemon of source/app.ts, and after this we shall be also requiring here a build. So here let's have a build script, and under a build script you can simply say tsc, the following command that we were always writing over our terminal, and here you can simply write here a partial flag and give it a following period, that is a dot, press save, and now let's test it out. Let's close this file and this file as well, but now let's check whether we are getting the following data onto our terminal without transpiling our entire file. So here onto our terminal, let's clear it once, and here I will be simply writing a following command of npm run the following dev, press enter. Cool. So now here you can see the following nodemon is automatically started, and all of our TypeScript code is also rendered under JavaScript ones. For example, if I simply press save, here you can see we can now constantly listen all of our changes that will be happening under our TypeScript files. Now this was the basic configuration that you need to do in order to transpile all of your TypeScript code under a JavaScript code asynchronously. So once we have done this, we are good to go. So now let's discuss some of the basic programming things under our TypeScript, that is all of the keywords that we shall be using. So under our TypeScript we shall be using three different type of variables. The first one shall be from the ES15 module of variable. After having this variable we shall be using a let keyword, and after having the let keyword we shall be also using a constant keyword. Now you may be wondering that the following constant keyword shall be a constant one, that the following value declared under a const one will be not going to be changing, that is it will be mutable, and under this let the following value that we shall be declared here shall be reassignable, all of the values shall be changing. and also same goes for our variable. But you may be asking the following question, whether to use variable or whether to use this let keyword. Now let me tell you that the following variable keyword, that is var keyword, is used to declare variables, but it had some of different blocking chains, that is different scoping rules. And to tackle up the following problem of scoping rules, ES6 module invented the following keyword of let. So we shall be simply using let keyword under our entire process. Now enough talking, let's start coding. So first thing first, you can simply write here a let. Now let cat should be equal to a string. So here I shall be simply writing here a name of Steven, and after that we shall be simply printing up our name of cat. So for that purpose, here I can write console.log, and under this log let's write cat. Let's open our console, that is terminal, and here you can see we are getting our cat name, which is Steven. So now if I simply write here another name, let's say Ruby, the following thing is working as well. But if I simply remove it off, and here if I simply say false, the following thing shall be working as well for now. But you know what, let me show you a new magic trick. Now if I redeclare the following thing of cat should be equal to 55, I will be getting an error, and if I hover over it, it will be saying that type number is not assignable to a type boolean. That's true, cause here the following cat is having a data type to be a boolean, but now we are redeclaring our entire cat to be a 55, which is number, which is not assignable. So here we won't be able to write 55 but true, which will be true as well. So to tackle up the following problem of unnecessary assignments, we shall be having a type, that is type indentation to the following keywords. So here let's have a new let keyword of fruit. Now here I can simply say let fruit, a colon, and here I shall be writing a data type that I am going to assign the following fruit, and here my fruit will be a string. So here I shall be writing a string. Let's come one step down, and here I can simply say my fruit is going to be a mango. So here I can simply say a mango, and if I come down and simply say console.log my fruit, and if I press save, our fruit is printed here, which was mango. And if I come down of our entire statement of console.log, and if I simply say my fruit should be equal to cherry, and if I console.log it and press save, you can see both of the fruits shall be printed up. But now if I come one step more down, and if I simply say fruit should be equal to 55, the following assertion won't be happening here, because you will be getting an error that type number is not assignable to a string. So here let's remove of the following thing, and let's go over what are numbers. So here I can simply say let price to be equal to type to be a number, and here I can say price is equal to 55, and if I simply say CLG, which is a short form of console.log, and here if I simply say print my price, here we will be getting the following price to be 55. Let's comment it off. Now here after having a string and number, let's check over what are booleans. So here I can simply say a new variable of is fresh. The following variable is having a type of boolean. So here let's have a boolean, and if I simply say is fresh is equal to false, we won't be getting any warning because our following is fresh is a boolean and we have asserted a false value to it. And similarly we can simply print the following statement here as well, that is fresh, which will be always going to be happening, that is compiling, because our is fresh is always a false one. And if I simply say here is fresh is going to be 55, this thing won't be happening because our is fresh is a boolean and our 55 is a number. I hope you are getting the idea of the following assertion of types. So after having the following basic types, let's move over some advanced one. Now let me tell you something about what are arrays in TypeScript. So for that purpose, here I can simply say let, and here the following list of fruits will be having a type of array under a form of string, just like this. And here I can simply say a list of fruits should be equal to a new array, and under this array I can enter any sort of fruits, that is string, that I will be needing. So here let's write the following thing here, cool. And here I can simply say console.log my list of fruits, and if I simply press save, you can see we shall be getting all of our fruits here, which was apple and peach. But here if I simply say list of fruits dot, if I simply say push, that is add some values under my entire array, and here if I simply say let me add oranges in it as well, and if I simply say console.log my list of fruits, the following orange shall be simply appended at the end of our entire list of fruit, which is somewhere here. But here, instead of having a push statement over oranges, if I simply say 55, I will be getting an error, and if I hover over it, the error will be nothing but simply argument of type number is not assignable to a type of a string. So here, to make this thing happen, I can simply say here, instead of having an array of string, I want an array of number. But here I will be getting an error that the following apple is a string and the following list of fruits is under an array of a type of number. So in and all, you can declare the following types, that is explicit type from here. So you can simply comment of the following line, and here let's add a following string, that is a string of array. So after having the following array, let's move up. Now feel free to simply edit the following array according to you. Here you can simply have any sort of array as you need of boolean, numbers, and also a string one. So now let's have your array of string and let's go forward after commenting off. So after having the following arrays, let's check over what are enums. So here I can simply declare a new enum, and here if I simply say basket. Now here to declare your enum, you can simply write the following keyword of enum, the name that you are declaring to the following enum, and also two angular brackets, and under this enum you can simply declare all of your properties. So here I can simply say fruit, price, and also a is fresh that we have declared just right up. So format document first, and here if I simply say basket dot, and after pressing dot, you can see three different options shall be appearing to us, that is the members of our following enum, which is fruit, is fresh, and also price. Now by default, if I hover over the following enum of fruit, here I will be getting the position of my enum to be 0, and if I hover over price, I will be getting my position of enum to be 1, and similarly the following position of is fresh will be 2, just like this. I can also do one thing, that is declare the following thing of 0, and here I can simply say it will be a 1, and here I will be say this thing will be 2, and if I simply say console.log of my basket, and if I simply press save, you can see we will be getting all of our values here of fruit, price, and also is fresh under different format of object, and also mapping between the following key and value, just like this. So let's comment off this and let's move up. So after having the following enum, let me tell you something about what are tuples under TypeScript. So to declare tuple, you can simply say a list of veggies, and under this you can simply declare it here a tuple. So for declaring a tuple, you simply have to write here a data type of your tuple. So here I can simply say a data type of number and string. So now I can simply say list of veggies, and under my list of veggies I can simply declare all of the following values which we have declared up, and here I can simply say 0/potato, and if I try to printing out, I can simply say console.log a list of veggies, and if I simply say save, you can see we will be getting our entire list of veggies. Now you can also do one thing, access a particular element under your tuple. So for doing that thing, you can simply say list of veggies, and under my list of veggies I can access the following indexes of my entire tuple. So here let's have list of veggies under a 01, and the following value should be equal to 10. Also let's have a list of veggies, and under this I can simply take the first value, and here I can assign it a value of chili, just like this. And here let's comment of the following thing, come down, and here if I simply say console.log my updated list of veggies, so here I can simply say console.log list of veggies. You can see the value will be simply redeclare one more time that we have assigned here accordingly. But you know what, if I simply come down here, and if I simply say my list of veggies at 0th index should be a false, we shall be getting an error, and you guess it right, the error shall be nothing but a type error of boolean is not assignable to a number, because while we are declaring the signature of our entire list of veggies, we declare that the following veggies should be consisting a number and also a string at position of 0 and also at position of 1, just like this. So now let's declare the following position one more time to be 1 and chili. So after having this thing, you know what, you can also do one thing, that is declare a tuple of array. So for doing that thing, I can simply say not a list but a let, and here I can simply say list of veggies, or one more time, but a part 2, and here I can simply say reassign my list of veggies part 2 under a number, and after having number I will be getting a string but as a type of array. So now let's come down here, and here if I simply say list of veggies for part 2 should be equal to a new tuple, and under this tuple first of all I can simply say a number of 0, and after that I can simply declare one more array of strings. So here let's have potato and also chili, just like this. Let's do one thing, that is minimize the following value of our entire terminal. So once we have declared the following thing, so after the following declaration I can simply say console.log my list of veggies of part 2, and if I simply press save, here you can see we will be getting the following value here. Easy thing. But now if I come down here and assign a new variable of let's say list of veggies part 3 should be equal to a tuple, and under this tuple I can simply say a new number and also a string. Oops, we are getting an error because instead of a colon we assigned a equal sign, and here I will be simply assign a new array of our entire data type of number as string, and here if I simply say list part 3 should be equal to a new array, and under this array we shall be having one more array. So here we shall be simply writing 0 and potato, just like this. Press Ctrl and S, and now let's try printing them out. Now here you can see we shall be getting our entire list. So now let's copy the following thing, paste and paste, format document once, and now after pressing save you can see we will be simply getting a tuple under a tuple, that is an array of inherited tuple. So once we have done this we are good to go. So in this way we have simply taken a look over what is the basic types of our entire TypeScript. Now let's go forward, let's delete everything off, and now let's start off of what is a union in TypeScript. So now let's imagine a scenario. Here I shall be simply writing let should be a new string, and here I can simply say my fruit, not fruit. So here I can simply say my fruit should be equal to a mango, a tasty mango. But now if I simply want to say that my fruit is not a mango but a 55, how shall I be doing this? So to easiest way of doing this is go at the top and convert the following of string type under a union one. So for that you can simply add an OR operator, that is a straight line, and here you can simply say the following command of number and the error shall be gone. You can declare the following value of fruit to be a string or a number accordingly. You can also expand your entire list of union types accordingly. Here if I simply say a boolean, and if I simply go down and if I simply say here fruit should be equal to a true, this should be working as well. And yes, why not, we shall be trying this thing as well, that my following thing will be nothing but a string of array. Let's add an OR operator, and here if I come down and here if I say fruit should be equal to a string of all the fruits, not a potato is not a fruit, but still I can simply say a mango. This should be working as well. We won't be getting any error because the following type is known as a union type. Under the union type you can simply mix all of your types, that is data types that you want to declare. So after taking a look over what is a union type, let's take a look over what is any type. So now let's start off the following thing of any types. Yes, it will be more precise to you. Let me go at top, and here I can simply say a union type. Cool. So now let's move under our union type. So now under our any type let's have a new declaration of let, and here I can simply say let my car should be under a type of any, and if I simply say my car is 55 or my car is true or even my car is equal to a new object, this won't be showing us any error because the following type of our car is any, and we are now free to declare our car with any data type that we need. Easy thing. So after having the following thing, if I simply say console.log my car, and if I simply go up and if I simply say name should be equal to a Bugatti one. After pressing save, can you comment out which of the following command that I will be receiving, whether I will be receiving a car to be 55 or true or a object of name. Let's try it out. After pressing save, you can see we are getting a following command, that is the following output to be a name of Bugatti. TypeScript shall be working inversely as well. The last command, that is the last declaration that you have made, will be auto-implied over under the following variable name of car. So let's comment it out and let's go forward. So after having the declaration of union and any, let's learn how to declare some of the custom types under our entire TypeScript. So what I mean by custom types is simply declaring a types based on our own opinion. So here for declaring our custom type, I can simply say a type. After having a type keyword, I can simply say user data. The following user data should be either a string or a number. So after having the following declaration, I can simply say let user should be under a type of a user data. And if I simply say user should be equal to 55, this will be working as well. If I simply say console.log of user, press save, I am getting the following value of 55, easy. But here if I simply say user should be equal to Abhishek, and if I simply press save, I am getting the value of Abhishek, for the following data type of a user, that is user data, is under a type of a string or a number. Can you guess it what we have called the following thing? Absolutely, this is nothing but simply a union of different data types. Cool. So you may be wondering why we should be declare the following type at top. So here I can simply say the following line, that is the following type declaration is known as signature of our following data type. So here I can simply say a signature, and here I can simply say declaration, and here I can simply say call of the following variable accordingly. And now I can simply say a type of, let's say, my data should be equal to a new object, and under my following object I can also use the nested type. So here I can simply say data, or a data should be equal to user data. Now if I go at the bottom and if I simply say let user2 should be equal to my data, or not equal but simply a colon, and if I simply assert my user2 should be equal. Now here under this equal statement I need to simply put here an entire object. If I hover over it, it will be simply saying that the following data is having a missing statement of the following parenthesis. So here under my parenthesis I can simply say a data should be equal to any sort of thing that I want, that is either a number or also an integer likewise. But here if I simply try to write here a true, I will be getting an error, and if I hover over it, it will be simply saying that the boolean is not assignable to a type of user data, because our user data is nothing but a string and also a number. And let's go at the bottom and remove this thing off as well. Cool. So after having the following nested declaration of what are types, we can go forward and let's try to use some of the intelligence thing of our TypeScript. So here if I simply say my type of a custom type should be equal to a number of array, and if I come down and I can simply say let my marks should be under a type of a custom, and if I simply declare the following thing, it shall be simply auto implied of 55 or 44, alright, a comma of 44 or any sort of number as you like. But you know what, I can also do one thing, that if I simply say let my hobbies should be equal to a new array, but here under my array I won't be giving here any type, but I can simply say let my hobbies are sleeping, eating and as well as dancing. But here if I simply declare here a following type of 55, and if I hover over my hobbies, here it shall be automatically giving us a type of an array under a union type of a string or number. This means that TypeScript shall be automatically identify about the intelligence, that is the data that we are giving to our entire type. So here if I simply say my hobbies, and here if I simply say my hobbies dot push, here if I can push any sort of number and string. So here if I simply push 10, we won't be getting any error. Under a case of data, that is a string, we won't be getting any error. But if I simply say a true one, it will be simply showing us a red sign, and you know what, the error shall be argument of type boolean is not assignable. So to cover the following thing off, you can simply write here a new variable of boolean, and if I hover over my hobbies, the following type of array shall be included with boolean, just like this. I hope you are getting it, that the benefits of TypeScript that we will be declaring in JavaScript shall be automatically handled by TypeScript. So this is one of the most important feature of TypeScript identifying all of the data, that is data types under our array or union or any sort of thing automatically. So now let's take a look over what is a type assertion and how can we use type assertion in TypeScript. So here if I simply say let food, the food is having any type and the following declaration of the value is chips. Now if I simply say let snacks should be equal to food, cool. I can simply say my snacks is equal to food, but here if I simply say snacks should be equal to false, I won't be getting any error. If I simply say snacks, alright, snacks should be equal to 55, I won't be getting here as well. But here under a type of food, if I simply say here under angular bracket, if I simply say string, I will be getting here an error of both of the number and also on boolean, because both of the following things are not string. And here I have simply assigned the following value of snacks to be a string under a type of food. But here if I simply say any, the error will be gone. But if I simply say here, let's say a boolean, the following error will be gone for this snacks, but we are getting an error here because the following type number is not assignable to a boolean. So in and all, you can also declare your values of food while you are simply fetching up your data from any keyword, just like this. And the following thing is known as type assertion. So let me write here type. Cool. So now let's go at the bottom and let's take a look over what are functions. So now let's take a look over what are functions under our TypeScript. So here let's have a new keyword of functions and let's learn about them. Let's declare a new function. So for declaring a new function, I can simply say a keyword of function, and after having the following keyword, I can give it any sort of name. Let's say my name, and under this function we can provide here arguments. So to provide argument, you can take any sort of name. The general habit of taking arguments to be a name are x, y, z accordingly. So here under the following thing, I can give it a type to my argument to be a string, just like this. And here under my function, I can simply say console.log to be x. Now let's go down and call our function. So to call our function, I can simply say my name, and under this we need to provide here a value. So here I can simply provide here a value of my name. Easy thing, press Ctrl and S. Cool. So now I am getting my value here, which is Abhishek, just like this. So now let's do some of advanced stuff under our functions. Let's comment this thing off, and here I can simply say function of detect my name. So here under my function, I will be writing here a new parameter, that is argument to be a string, and under my function I can even declare if else block. So here I can simply say if x is equal to a new string of Abhishek, I can simply say console.log user permitted or any sort of thing, but I can also have a else block, and under my else block I can simply say console.log for a error. Let's try it out. So for trying it out, let's call the following function of detect. Alright, we have given our wrong spelling, so let's have here detect my name, and under the following thing let's provide here a string, not my name but any sort of other string. Press Ctrl and S. Cool. So here we are getting a new error because we have defined the following condition here, but instead of this, if I simply say print Abhishek, I will be simply getting my following output to be user permitted, just like this. So let's omit the following statement here from here as well. Let's go down. Now let's take a look over what are explicit types under TypeScript. So for that purpose, here if I simply say a new function of sum of numbers, and if I simply say here a new parameter of x should be equal to a new number, and also I am going to have a new parameter of y which will be a number as well. So let's have a number, and I can simply say return my x plus y, just like this. And here if I simply say console.log, and under my console.log if I simply say sum of numbers, and under this I need to provide two different numbers, let's say 5 and 5, and after pressing Ctrl and S, we shall be getting here our output to be 10. Now this will be simply a normal way of detecting our entire functions, but you can also do one thing, that is add a new column here, and after having the following column I can simply say a number. Now here you may observe there won't be a big changes, but if I simply hover over my sum of numbers, you can see we are getting this explicit type default, that is we will be getting the explicit type of number by default over our sum of number. And here if I simply say return a boolean, you can see we will be getting here an error because the type of number is not assignable to a type boolean, because the following function is simply returning an explicit type of boolean. So to doing that thing, I can simply say my x should be a boolean and also my y should be a boolean. But here the following addition of our boolean won't be happening, just a bad case. So here instead of boolean, I can simply say my x and y should be a string, and under my return statement I can simply say a string as well. But here under our entire calling block, instead of phi, let's say a, and also let's say b, press Ctrl and S. Cool, so we will be getting an AB because we have explicitly declared that the following return type or sum of numbers is a string but not an integer. But if I remove this off and if I hover over it, the following value shall be changing of time to time, that the explicit type of our following return statement of our function will be a string, just like this. So we'll comment this thing off and let's move forward. So after taking a look over what is the explicit type, let's take a look over what are optional parameters under functions. So for that purpose, let's have a new function of call me, and under this new function let's have a new argument name to be a string for a name, and also I will be simply having a new age which will be a number, and after that I shall be having a new argument of location which will be a string. So here under the following function, we shall be simply say return name, that is the argument, and here I can simply append the following string is of, and here I can simply say years, just like this. Alright, let's go at the top, and here I can simply say call me function, that is if I simply call me function, I will be simply writing here Abhishek, which will be first of all to be a string, and also my age to be 20. But you know what, I will be also requiring a new parameter of location, but I won't be needing the following parameter under my return statement. So here I shall be simply doing one thing, add a question mark, and the error will be gone. Now the following parameter of location is defined to be undefined, and here if I simply hover over the following thing, you can see our call me shall be taking 3 different parameters of string or undefined. So here if I simply say plus or somewhat space, and if I simply say year, not a year but simply a location, and if I press Ctrl and S, alright, so we haven't called our console. So here I can simply say console.log, and let's try it out. Cool, so here we are simply getting the following value of our location to be undefined, but here if I simply provide the following location to be a string to be India, let's print it out. But before printing it out, let's use some spaces here. Press Ctrl and S. So here you can see we are getting our India, but if I simply remove this thing off, we will be getting the value to be undefined. So here instead of having an undefined one, you can also do one thing, give a default parameters to our entire function. So for that purpose, you just have to append the following location with the following location that you want to give to it of India. Now if I open my terminal, press Ctrl and S, and if I press Ctrl and S, I will be getting the following value to be India. But if I move under my function call, and if I simply say here US1, press Ctrl and S, I will be getting the value to be US, because the following default value shall be overridden by the following value of US, just like this. So after having this thing, let's go forward. So after taking a look over what is the optional parameter and what is the default parameter, let's take a look over what are function signatures. So for defining a function signature, I can simply say here a new let to be shop food, and here let's give our shop food to be a new type. So here let's have a name to be a new string, and also it shall be having a new price which will be a number, and the following value shall be returning us a new void, and the following value shall be returning us a new void. So here let's have a return statement of void. So now if I simply say a shop food, and if I simply say equal under a parenthesis, I will be getting here an intelligence by TypeScript that the following shop food shall be requiring a string and also a number which is name and price. So here if I simply say a name should be equal to a string, and also my price should be equal to a number, just like this. And if I simply say console.log, and here you can simply give it a backticks, and under a backticks you can simply say name has price of the following price, just like this. Now if I simply want to call a function, I will be simply saying shop food, and under this it will be requiring sushi and also some price to it of 50. Press Ctrl and S. Let's open our terminal. Okay, our app crashed, no worries, let's open it one more time. So let's clear it once, and here you shall be writing the following command of npm run for a dev1, but we are getting the following error here because our shop food shall be also requiring here arrow function, just like this, just a bad error. So let's start off our terminal one more time. Cool, so here we are simply getting our value of sushi has a price of 50. Now the following line that we have declared at the top is known as function signature. So here I shall be simply calling it a function signature, which simply defines the type of our entire function, that is their value of arguments that we need to declare. So now under my following function signature, here if I simply say the name should not be a string but simply a new number, I will be getting an error everywhere. But if I simply say this, and here instead of this if I say 100, the thing will be working on. If I open my terminal, I will be getting the same value again and again, but this is just a wrong case because 100 can't be have a value of 50, just like this. Okay, a bad joke. So now the following thing is called a function signature, where we simply declare the following function type, which will be taking the arguments that will be default carried over again and again. Cool, so after having the following assertion of what is function signature, let's go forward. But you know what, before moving forward, let me show you a short trick as well. So here under this, I can simply say a new type of food name. Alright, a food name should be equal to a new string, and also I will be having a new type of, let's say a type of food price, and the food price will be a number. So I can do one thing, copy the following name from here and paste it here, and also same for food price. Alright, so here let's have a string. Now the following code is much more relatable, which is a dry code. We don't have to repeat ourselves again and again just to change the types of whatever we have declared. This was just a small trick that you can be performing just like this. So now let's go at the bottom and take a look over what are classes in TypeScript. So as in general definition, all of us know that the classes are just a blueprint of whatever data that we shall be writing. So here we can simply say a new class of a car, and under this class we shall be declaring all of our values of a car. So here let's have a new model of our car, which will be under a type of string, and also I will be getting a new engine for my car, which will be a string as well. But here we are getting two different errors, and if I hover over it, it will be simply saying that property engine has no initializer. We need to write a new constructor. So here let's have a new constructor, and under our constructor I will be taking two different values of x and also of y, and under my constructor I can simply assign the following value of this dot model should be equal to x, and after that I can simply say this dot engine should be equal to y, just like this. The following thing shall be doing nothing but simply instantiate the value of our model to be a new string and also of engine to be a new string. And here if I simply say my y should be a new number, I will be getting here an error because my following type of number is not assignable to a type of string. So here let's have a new string. So after having the following constructor under our class, let's have a new function of car data. So here let's have a new function. So under my new function I will be simply returning under backticks. So now let's call the following function of outside our entire class. So for calling it out, I can simply say a constant of a car1 should be equal to a new car, and under my following thing I need to declare two different values of string and string. So here let's have a new string to be Audi, and after this I shall be having one more string, let's say ns7, and here I can simply say console.log. If I simply say car1 dot, and after pressing dot, our following method shall be appearing to us, which is car data. So now let's try console logging the following car data. So press Ctrl and S and open our terminal. Now here you can see we are getting our value, that our model of this dot model, that is Audi, has an engine that is NS6 engine accordingly. But here I can simply do one thing, add a new const of car2 should be equal to a new car, and under this I can give it a different name of Mercedes. And also let's have a different engine of any sort of thing and let's call it out. So here I can simply say car2 dot car data. If I simply press Ctrl and S, I will be getting a value of model Mercedes had GH1 engine. So here let's remove the following thing off, and here if I simply say car2 dot the following model should be equal to a new name. So here if I simply say car2 model should be equal to a new model of UI8. If I try console logging my car2 dot car data, you can see the following value of our model will be changing. That is, we have changed our value model from GH1 to UI8 just like this. Now you can also change the value of your engine of car2. So for changing that, I can simply say car2's engine should be equal to some data, and if I simply try printing it out, you can see the following value will be changing accordingly. That model UI8 had some data engine. So you can simply reassign the value of your class in such a way. But you know what, you can also add the properties of read only, private and public over your class, but by default the value of your model and also for engine will be public. So here if I try writing it out public, nothing shall be happening for now. But if I simply say the following value will be private, now here it will be giving us an error that model is private and is only accessible within the car. Sorry, we are close. So we can simply remove this thing off, and if I simply say car2 dot, now here after pressing dot only two options shall be available to us, which is car data and engine. But if I go at the top, and here if I simply change the following value of engine to be private as well, and if I simply press dot, I will be getting only one value of car data, because only car data is public, other both are private. But you know what, I can do one thing. To our engine I can give it a property of read only, and if I go at the bottom and if I simply say car2 dot, and after pressing dot I will be getting the value of engine, but the following value of engine won't be realizable, it will be mutable. That is, we cannot change the following value of engine because it is read only. We can only read the following value of car2's engine, but we won't able to write the following value again and again. So now let's omit the following thing and let's take a look over what is static type under our class. So here under the following value of car, let's try adding one more value of price, which will be a new string. Now here if I simply hover over it, we will be getting an error that price has no initializer and we cannot assign the following thing. So here I can simply say the following value of price will be static. So to solve this problem, I can simply say the value of my price will be static, and if I simply say my value of static will be 200, if I simply copy the following name. So now to access the following static thing, if I simply say car2 or at car2 dot, I won't be getting the following value of static, that is price, or the following value is static and we can't change or neither read it. But you know what, you can do one thing, write the following value of car, and from my car I can simply read the following value of price just like this. And if I simply convert my following value under console log, if I simply say console.log my following thing, I will be getting here a value of price which was 200. But here if I simply say car.price should be equal to 100, and if I simply press Ctrl and S, the following value will be changing again and again, but just we need to simply redeclare the following thing instead of having the following constructor just like this. So now let's comment of the following thing and also for our console log of this thing. So after taking a look over what is the classes in TypeScript, let's take a look over what are interfaces. Now for a general information, interface is the structure that defines the contract and our application. It generally defines the syntax for our classes to follow. So instead of just taking theoretical knowledge, let's take a deep dive over a coding part. So to declare a new interface, here we shall be simply writing a new interface, and under my interface I will be writing here a new name of dog data. Now to declare my following interface, I just need to write the following curly parenthesis, and under this I can give it any sort of properties that I need. So let's give it a name, a breed to be a string, and also an age which will be a number. Format document first, and after that I can simply say a constant value of dog, or not a god but a dog. One should be under a type of dog data. So here let's have dog data, and the following value shall be taking any other type. So let's instantiate the following value. but here we are getting an error cause the following value is not initialized. So here if I simply say name should be equal to Bruno. After having my name, I can simply say a breed to it. Alright, not a breed, but a breed. Let's say XYZ breed. And after that, it will be also requiring one more property of age. And if I simply say age to be 5, this will be working. But here, instead of having age to be 5, if I simply say false, we will be simply getting an error. And yes, you guessed it right. The error will be nothing but type boolean is not assignable to a type string. So let's convert the following string under a 5, just like this. So now, once we have declared the following value of dog, I can do one thing, change the value of dog, that is dog1's data. So here if I simply say dog1's name should be equal to Lily, or Lily1, and if I simply say console.log dog1, press Ctrl and S, here we will be simply getting our value to be modified, which was Lily, but here instead of Lily, let's say oregano. Alright, a wrong spelling, no worries. We will be simply getting our values to be here. So now to stop the following modifier access, you can do one thing just like as we did in our class. Here I can simply add a property of read only, and here you can see we are getting the following error that the following name can't be reassigned because it is a read only property. So if I omit this out and print our statement of console.log, we will be simply getting our value of our entire dog1, which was Bruno, its breed and also its age. Now here under this read only, you can't declare here a property of private because the following value of private is only available under classes, not in interfaces. So under interfaces, if you need to simply assign a value which can't be changed, you simply have to write the following value to be read only. So you can copy the following read only, paste it here, and similarly if I simply say dog1, the following value can't be assigned because we will be getting an error because the following value of breed is read only type. Easy, we are doing great. So now let's remove the following thing off, press Ctrl and S, we will be getting our dog. So after taking a look over what are interfaces and how we can declare them in our own way, let's take a look over what is generics under TypeScript. So to declare generics, let's do one thing, remove everything off from here, and let's take a look over what is generics. Now don't worry, I will be putting the source code of whatever we have learned here under the description box, which will be available over my GitHub. You can check it out as well. So now let's take a look over what is generics. Now by general information, generics provide a way to make components work with any data type and not restrict to one data type. Alright, it was a bad definition, we don't need this. So now let's take a look over how we can actually use generics under our TypeScript. So here I will be having a new function to be, let's say, my function, and to declare a new generic, you just have to write a type of generic, which will be a T by industry standard name, and under this it will be taking a new argument, and here we can simply say the argument will be a type of T, and we can also return the following argument to be T as well. Cool. So here under my return statement, we can simply return any of the sort of thing we need. Now this is nothing but simply a general syntax of how we can implement generics. Now let's take a new example of how we can implement generics using getting array. So here let's have a new function of get data. Now the following get data will be simply taking a type, that is generical type, and under this let's have a new x. Now x will be nothing but simply an array of my following t, and also the following function will be returning a new array of following t. So here under generics, I can simply say return me a new array, and under my following array I can give it a type of t and also close off the following parenthesis. Now to call the function out, I can simply say let data1 should be equal to get data, and here it will be taking a type, a generical type. Let's get a type to be a number, and under this it will be taking an array of number. So here let's provide some array of number. Now here if I simply say data1 dot push, if I simply try pushing out 15 one more time, it will be working. Let's try it out by writing console.log for data1, press Ctrl and S. You can see we will be getting our value of 15 just like this. But here instead of 15, if I try to simply pushing out different value, let's say a false one, I will be simply getting an error which will be a type error that boolean is not assignable to a parameter of number. Cool, just like you said. and if I simply say console.log of data1, cool, so we will be simply getting the following error. Alright, our file is crashed, got the following error as occurred here. Let's try to rerun our entire process one more time by simply clearing it once and writing npm run dev, just like this. Now here, instead of having a single generic type, you can also have multiple generic type. So for that purpose, here I can simply say a new function of get data, not get data but simply get multiple data. Now here it will be taking two different types, let's say T and U, some industry standard names, and under this it will be taking a name, let's say a type T, and also let's age to be type U, just like this. And here I can simply say return under a backticks, and here I can simply say return me a type of my following name. Now don't worry, the following type name is nothing but simply an utility that TypeScript shall be providing to us. And here, after having this thing, I can simply say return name and the following type of my following age. So here if I simply say under dollar quotation type of age, and let's try printing it out. So here let's have a new declaration of console.log, and here if I simply say get multiple data, now under multiple data it will be taking two different data types. So here I can simply provide here a value of Abhishek, alright, Abhishek, and also a new string to be a number. And if I press Ctrl and S, you can see I will be getting a following value here, which will be a string and number. Now if I simply copy my following thing here, go at top, and before the declaration, if I simply write here my following type of value that I need to provide, I can simply say write here a new string and also write here a new number. The output shall be same, but the following code will be a much cleaner code than the following this code. Now here if I simply say return a new boolean, I will be getting an error, it will be showing a false. Let's try printing it out. We will be simply getting a value of string and boolean, cause our Abhishek is string and a false is a boolean, just like this. Cool, so now these are all about generics that we need to learn about. So once we have declared the following thing, let's take a look over how we import and export our files accordingly, cause we won't be able to write all of our code in a single file. So for declaring multiple files under our project folder, let's go under source and let's create a new file of market, or instead of market, let's have a new file of list.ts. Under my following file, I will be writing a new function. So here let's have a new function of get list. It will be taking two parameters. So here I will be writing a new string, also a y which will be a string, and here it shall be simply returning me x plus y, that is a concatenation of string. And here I can simply say the following return type will be a string, just like this. So now to export the following file under my app.ts, I can simply do one thing, go at the top and here write a following keyword of export to my following function. Now once we have done this, let's go at our app.ts, and here if I simply say get a list, we should be simply getting the following intelligence that we need to simply import the following file from list. Now if I simply say console.log my get list, it will be taking two different parameters. So let's provide here a a and also a v. Let's try printing it out. Cool, so we are getting av, which will be nothing but simply the following concatenation of string. Now to here, to simply export the value from our app.ts under list.ts, I can simply say export let data should be equal to some data. Now I just have exported my following data. Now I can go under my list. Now here I can go at the bottom and write data. Now I can also do one thing, import my following data from module.app, just like this. Now this was just a small example of how you can import and export files under TypeScript. Now I guess we have covered all of the necessary things that we need to learn about TypeScript. We have learned everything about what are basic types of TypeScript, what are functions, what are custom types, what are classes, what are generics, everything. I hope you have loved the following tutorial where we have learned everything about TypeScript, and if you have loved so, please hit that like button over the following video, and also don't forget to subscribe to the following channel if you are new here. It will be amazing if you share all of my videos under your network. So if you have loved this tutorial, please hit that like button, I am aiming for 200 likes, and if I get 200 likes, I will be making some advanced courses over TypeScript just like this. So if you have loved the following video, please hit that like button. I will see you in the next one, where we shall be taking a look over what is Express server with npm, that is Node. So I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.